All right, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to the first episode of Push to Talk. This is a brand new podcast where myself and my co-host here, CrashGames, are going to be talking about pretty much everything FPS, the stuff that we're playing in a more kind of formatted podcast viewable show for you guys. Crash, introduce yourself. Let everybody know who you are, what you do, where they can find you, and everything in between.
Yeah, I'll do it. What's up, guys? My name's Crash. I cover FPS games over on my, notably smaller YouTube channel than Fry's, but we make it work over there on our corner of the internet. And I wanted to call the show Push to Talk with Big Fry and who the hell's that other guy, but it wouldn't fit on the merch. So
Yeah.
we just had to leave it at Push to Talk and go short. But yeah, guys, I'm excited to be here. I'm thankful for the opportunity, man. I've been a fan of Fry's for a really long time. I remember checking him out on I think I really started locking into your channel back in the Dead Side days.
Oh my God.
When
days.
that game was rocking and stuff.
wait.
So
Yeah, can we say COVID? I don't know.
I think we can.
Okay.
Especially for Patreon. Who cares?
Oh yeah, fair enough.
But yeah, man, I'm just happy to be here. It's a little bit surreal, and I'm excited to work together and push it forward from where this episode's going to be like several episodes, getting better each time, what it's going to look like a little ways down the road.
Yeah.
And trying to make one of the first like segmented and structured gaming shows. I want it to be, like we talked about, more of a show than anything that you guys enjoy watching. That's edutainment or whatever that catchword is that everybody's like excited about, buzzword.
Yeah.
That everybody's excited about, where it's entertaining, educational. We're going to cover news and we're going to have a good time doing it. And
yeah.
I'm excited.
I want to give a shout out to everybody who is supporting this channel on Patreon. That is where this podcast pretty much was birthed. I wanted to create something with Crash, a show that we can kind of just talk about the stuff that I want to talk about, that Crash wants to talk about in the FPS space, and it's powered by Patreon. So if you guys are wanting to check out the Patreon, support the channel, the links are down in the description. Or if you're listening to this on somewhere, Spotify, Apple, wherever, I don't know if we'll be able to have links, but patreon.com/BigFry.
And I've heard through the grapevine, if you're an audio listener and you got a second, drop those 5-star reviews on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, and it helps push the audio version around. I did learn that, so that's a good thing to let people know. There's also free ways to support the program that can get it out and around.
There you go. All right. With that, Crash, where can they find you? And then we're going to jump into the meta breakdown.
Yeah, man. I'm over on twitch.tv/Crash8, as well as at CrashGame on YouTube, FPS_Crash on X. It's really hard not to call it Twitter.
Right.
And also to my own weekly podcast called The Scope with Buffner Gaming and Blue the Robot. You can find that on all the audio platforms as well. So I'm like turning into a big podcast guy.
Yeah,
I mean,
you're killing it.
I didn't know that was going to happen, but
Hey.
here we are.
Here we are. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I think that is now time for the meta breakdown.
Let's do it.
All right, guys, so this is a pretty timely podcast release with the launch of Battlefield 6 pretty much going on right now. Crash and I wanted to bring some positives and negatives for how we're feeling about the launch, and just kind of talk about just a few things about what we're feeling. How many hours do you have in the game right now, Crash?
I want to say probably getting close to 40. I might have put a work week into her.
Yeah, that's
somewhere in there.
Battle dads are fucking going ham this week. Yeah, hell yeah. All right, let's talk about some of the positives. You had a couple that you wanted to bring to the table today. I want to hear.
Yeah, the first one I wanted to talk about was no specialist. Man, like that was one of the biggest pain points for me for 2042 among like a laundry list of things that were wrong with 2042. But I also got kind of fatigued on it with maybe some of the direction even Rainbow Six went, where everything's kind of around that, and how we got some like power creep in Rainbow Six. And then I was really excited for the extraction mode in Delta Force to come out too. I've been enjoying extraction games lately. And that also brought in specialists. And I started to enjoy the extraction mode. Then I would get killed by a flash drone and nano bees. And it's like, dude, I just want to be an average guy on the battlefield like we used to in the Battlefield 1 and 5 days. And it just feels good to be a soldier and have your roles and things that you need to do. And so at the end of the day, I'm so happy there's no specialists.
Yeah,
the hero shooters are over.
I can definitely agree with that. It's nice. Well, let me ask you this: how do you feel about the open versus closed weapons with the current setup?
I would have preferred the closed weapons, like a lot of people. I think that inherently makes people fit into their niches on the battlefield a little bit easier. It makes it more kind of obvious how you should play the game when you're in a specific role. But I put it with the server browser as a pipe dream. It's one of those things like as a true Battlefield fan, I want that, but it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
Mainly because I kind of think maybe because of skins. Like if you buy a skin for an SMG that's really cool, but you want to play recon, but you can't run the gun you bought the skin for.
Yeah.
So I think the skin economy that we're probably going to see in this game is I just chalked it up to that.
Yeah.
I think what we could reasonably expect for a game, it's pretty awesome. But those things like closed weapons and server browsers and stuff like that, that true Battlefield fans really wanted, I kind of already came to terms with we're not going to get stuff like that.
Yeah. Well, I think for me, like when it comes to stuff like server browsers, if you look at what they did give us, like you said, with the no specialist going, the class-based gameplay that we're all kind of, accustomed to, I think I'm okay with, like, obviously the game's not going to be perfect. It's not going to be everything that we want, right? But I'm okay that we don't have to worry about not only the meta class builds and stuff like that, but on top of that, the meta operators that combine with it. It adds a complication that I don't think Battlefield has ever really needs to have, especially because I find Battlefield to be more of a casual experience. Yeah, no, I definitely agree with that. One of the big positives for me, I think, is the visuals and the audio. And it kind of goes into the one that you brought to the table a little bit, but I think this is one of the best looking. I mean, watching Battlefield 2042 gameplay leading up to this launch after playing the betas, I actually can't believe how much of a step up it is in terms of the visuals, the aesthetic, and just like the overall like vibe of the package itself. I always say, like, when you're playing Liberation Peak and you got a fucking jet flying overhead and you just and the whole presentation is incredible. So that's definitely one of my positives as well.
I will have to counter argue just a tad. I think there's a fair amount of things they could do better with visuals and audio.
Okay.
I think sometimes there might be a footstep issue because there are times like yesterday I was playing and I was pushing the objective like we do around here.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
And dude on a Polaris came up, an ATV, like came up
Yeah.
right behind me and hit me in the back of the head with a sledgehammer. And I didn't hear anything. So I agree with what you're saying. Like the audio overall is like pretty immersive. Like when you have jets
Right.
coming and tanks blowing up and the screen shaking
Yeah.
and battlefields happening. Finally,
Yeah.
we're getting real battlefield,
Right.
organic battlefield moments, right?
Exactly.
But I think enemy footsteps are getting lost in the mix sometimes. Like I
Yep.
could feel like it's maybe a little bit low because there's sometimes people just walk right up on me and I never heard anything. And then with the visuals, I think they said this, but they need to work on some of the lighting. I don't know if it's like an HDR issue, but sometimes when you're in a building and you're coming out of it, it's just like solar flare.
That is true.
So I think there's still work to be done in those categories, but on the right track. And the overall package of those is pretty good.
Yeah.
The thing that I wanted to say was my last positive was, dude, it's pretty damn polished for a Battlefield launch. Even Battlefield 4 was unplayable for a long time. We know how bad 2042 was. We kind of expected it to be rough because they're always rough.
Yeah.
But outside of like spending maybe 10, 15 minutes in a server or a server queue was like the worst thing most people experience. I know if you're on the EA app, that kind of got hosed.
Yeah.
I was literally streaming to tens of people. Okay. And I could not play the game. So that was rough where I wasn't able to hop in and play the game for EA. I just refunded it over there. It went right to my PayPal. I bought it on Steam. You can rub it in my face how I should always buy it on Steam.
I will rub it in your face, but let me ask you this,
Whatever.
because I think you got screwed with the pre-order because you no longer get the pre-order rewards, but also you refunded on EA after they came out and said, or before they came out and said that you would be getting the season passes for free, right?
Yeah.
How do you feel about
and that's
that?
I feel like everyone should be thanking me because that's my luck. I feel like if I hadn't have refunded, we would not have gotten any kind of rewards or anything to compensate for you. So I think everyone should be hitting me up on Twitter and saying thank you for getting your double XP tokens and your season 1 and 2 for free. So I got to miss out on that.
Yeah, I will give them some credit for sticking to that and actually, like, being consumer friendly for once. It doesn't it feel like almost like a new EA or almost like a new Battlefield?
It doesn't. I almost want to say Vince Ampella because he was mad on Twitter. It was why did you see any of his tweets?
No, I don't follow him.
he was talking about how unacceptable it was that people couldn't play on EA. He's like, who do I need to talk to? He said, just buy the game on Steam. Like he was like
Oh,
calling that
really?
stuff out. Yeah, he was irate
Wow.
about that being a thing. So I think shout out Vince for probably getting
Yeah.
some of these rewards are done. But what's your second positive?
Well, actually, I did wanna just bounce back. I will say, most polished Battlefield launch, I think, in a long time. I think after playing the betas and going out to LA and playing it there, I I think I knew it was going to be a pretty smooth launch. I feel like the server queue was something. I will say, have you ran into any like major bugs at all?
Man, not really. I've had a couple squad mates crash and have
Okay.
to restart.
Yeah.
But man, I really haven't. I know there's still some floaty movement issues and a couple little things that they've talked about. There's like a list of known issues,
Yeah.
but none of them are game breaking.
I think the one like because I did a 20-hour stream and the one thing that I kept running into when we were playing escalation or conquest is sometimes my ticket counter on our team just would not show anything.
Oh, yep,
Yeah. So
yep, had
but
that.
like I will say there's a lot of small issues that I wouldn't say build up to be something bigger, but like yeah, for the most part it was one of the smoothest launches that I've seen in quite some time. Not even just Battlefield, just like in the AAA space. I think Call of Duty does pretty well when it comes to their launches, but I mean, like they do them every year. It's pretty much rinse and repeat for them.
Yeah, the game's copy pasted, so it should run pretty good.
Right. But I think
I mean,
like
the cheats work on them every year, the same ones, the old ones. You see that, so it can't be that different.
oh my god. No, the other positive I brought was the portal potential, which we're going to talk about some of that stuff a little bit later in the show, but some of the stuff that people are already jumping into and creating for Portal is insane. Um
Yep.
the SOCOM mod has got me just rip rare and ready to go.
Are we gonna have our third person fight? We should probably save it for our graders.
Yes, we should. We'll get into Arc Raiders. I want to talk to you about that as well. But no, I think Portal already is showing people what can be done. And I think it's weird because I said in my video, I think the contradiction between what the EA execs want, where they want a game to eventually be coming out every single year, while you're giving us a Portal modding platform that I think could increase the longevity of a title like this tenfold. It's kind of
Yep.
contradictory.
Yep.
What do you think about Portal?
No, I agree, and I kind of learned the value of user generated content like that watching Armor Reforger. When Armor Reforger first came out, I was
Yeah.
like, dude, we have to build our own game. Like, what the hell is that? Like, you just
Yeah.
like what are we paying for? And then, but I saw where people took it. I
Yeah.
saw Stalker mods, I saw Halo mods, I saw people doing extraction shooters, BRs, like, and then it's like, man, user generated content really is
Yep.
kind of the future because people can do. There's really talented people out there. When you let people have access to those tools, you really get to see where they can go. So, yeah, we've seen the shipment stuff. We've seen people building like all the Call of Duty maps. Some people
Yep.
are building those sheer canals, and we'll talk about some of the other stuff in a little bit.
Yeah, no, very cool. Yeah, and the one thing like you bring up Armor Reforger, I think when you have a game that is as good and as polished as Battlefield is up front, the modding tools are just extra, layers on top. When Armor Reforger first came out, that game sucked. Like Armor Reforger at launch was fucking terrible. And so once the base game got better and it started bringing people into the base game, that's when the modding really, really took off. Yeah, I think they nailed it.
Yep. So is it negative time?
I think it's yeah, I think it's negative time.
All right.
Guys, that was about
Good.
10 minutes of positive. You're about to have 4.5 hours of negative. Let's get into
Lock it in, settle
Yeah,
in, get
yeah.
a drink. Here we go.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, yeah. So these are controversial. So I'm probably gonna get some more death threats like I did when I talked about the movement on Twitter. But
Love that.
anyway, man, Bloom. I've never liked it, and I know it's been a part of Battlefield for a really long time.
Yep.
I know people are like, well, you just have to tap fire, just diddle your finger, and it's like that was awesome, a skill in high school, but it's not really a skill here. Sorry, I keep it clean. But man, Bloom, I don't really like it. The reason I don't like it is because it's random, and there's really no other way, I guess, than tap fire. And I kind of think tap fire is also a little bit broken. It's not really resetting. There's been a couple tweets showing that. But I would much rather there be a little bit more significant recoil, because what I do, I guess we'll try to keep it positive here too. What I do like about Bloom is that it's not like laser beam ARs from across the
Yes,
map at
yes.
like, so I like that, but I would much rather have visual feedback, more visual feedback as to where my bullets are going rather than a tracer every once in a while flying off.
Yep.
So I would prefer the bloom to be brought down, if not eliminated, and just to try having more recoil. So having my reticle still is where my bullets go, but that bounces around more. So I
Yes.
can visually see, do I need a tap fire? Do I need to pull my mouse down? Do I need an attachment for, to help with the horizontal recoil or something like that? I would just like a better visual idea where my bullets are going, because
Yeah.
it doesn't feel great when you're tracking someone and you're tracking them perfectly with your mouse and the bullets are like,
Yeah, no, no,
and
exactly, and like I get it. The people don't want the full auto fire at long range. You don't want the laser beams. That's fine. Um, I think there's merit in wanting to tap fire, wanting to do that, but I've seen clips where guys first bullet out of the gun, and it's hitting 10, 15 feet away from where the target is, and it's just like how do you fix it? Like, and the thing is like is it a bug? Is this intended? Like the one tweet that was like super brutal to watch, David Serlin actually responded and just told the guy to tap fire.
that's what everybody says.
First,
That's the comeback.
that's David Serlin though. So like that tells me
Yeah.
that it's not a bug, that's actually intended. And I don't know, like I've been cheesed out of quite a few kills at very short distances because I'm just watching my bullets go all over the place with the tracers, and it's it's frustrating.
What's even wild is it's with the sniper rifles too.
Yeah.
So I saw Stody.
Yeah.
Stoda?
Yeah.
Yeah, he
Soda,
posted a video showing that if you're not playing the recon class, you have bloom on your sniper rifle, like in your
Yep.
one-shot bolt action. So,
And
and
that
I
and
guess
that
like,
oh, that's a whole
I
other
was,
thing. Sorry, go ahead.
dude, that's wild. No, I was just gonna throw in on top of the fact that get rid of the sweet spot mechanic. Okay, go on.
Yeah, I know. Let's talk about the sweet spot mechanic. What don't you like about it?
I mean, it's bad. So if you guys don't know what it is, if you're fighting and you're going up to a point and you see a sniper rifle with glint and it's got a rainbow ring around it, you're in deep trouble because
Yeah.
you're in that person's sweet spot. So just randomly, there is a spot where you can get one shot to the chest. Closer, it does less damage, and farther away, it does less damage. It makes zero sense. It's not intuitive, and it's really random. And you want to talk about something that is like a skill you can learn? Are you going to tell me that I need to learn how to properly range finder and stay the 10
Right.
meters within 10 meters of error of my potential enemy?
Yeah.
Like it's not intuitive, and it's a terrible mechanic, and it's really random. So I would love to see him get rid of the sweet spot mechanic and get it just to a normal range. Like,
Yeah.
it does damage at range.
No, 100%. And I find it strange that like the conversation leading up to the release of Battlefield was that Call of Duty is the arcade shooter and Battlefield is more realistic and it has more mil-sim elements and it has all that. And then we have RNG weapon bloom, we have sweet spot mechanics, we have sniper glint out our asses. What are we talking about? But that one about Stade, I want to dial back to that just a sec here. Doesn't that just completely negate the idea of open classes?
Yeah. Why wouldn't you? If you're going to make, I didn't really think of it that way, but yeah, if you're going to make sniper rifles trash on every other class, just lock them down.
Just lock them down. Like what?
Put my skins.
And like, well, that's exactly it. But what he said, and a good point too, is they made that change without telling anybody. It wasn't in any of the patch notes. It was a silent update. Why would they do that?
Because it's bad.
And that's
because they knew no one would like it, maybe. But then if you know that, I don't know. I can't call that one.
That's one of those things. It's just
wild.
I don't understand it. Yeah, no, Bloom. I will say the gunplay. There's a lot of things. Your point that you wanted to bring up here was Bloom, but there are quite a few things I think that are extending past Bloom that I think need to be worked out and resolved. Will they? I don't know.
I don't know. What do you got for me?
Can we talk about weapon progression?
Yeah.
How many hours you said you had 40?
I could look. Yeah.
What do you have?
Somewhere in
What do you
there.
have? 2 camos unlocked? Maybe a weapon charm or a sticker?
I will hit you with my super clever tweet that I put back to Tom Henderson when he was saying that. I was like, okay, so Battlefield 1 came out 9 years ago.
Yeah.
So based on that, we have 9 years until the next good Battlefield. You got time to unlock stuff. Don't worry about it. We got 9 years till the next game. I'm just kidding.
It's
frustrating.
Well, I will say though, there are a lot of people responding with that being legitimate though.
25 hours.
20
I was way off.
No. Here's what I will say though. I streamed 20 hours. I went live an hour before the game went out, and when I left that stream, it only told me I had 10 hours logged. It's like it didn't
Oh,
even log the hours on Steam for me for the first like 10 hours of that day.
huh.
So yeah,
Yeah, it seems like I'd have more because
yeah,
I've been
very
streaming
weird.
it every night too.
Yeah.
A
But
lot.
yeah, no, I think I don't want everything unlocked in a weekend, right? I actually like the fact that there are challenges that are challenging and that are, stuff that you have to actually work towards and try hard and sweat. What I don't like is the fact that a lot of the weapons are actually tied behind doing these challenges. Um, it's a crazy progression, and when we talk about it, I get hit with the that's how Battlefield always was. Battlefield 4 had crazy challenges. That's great. That was fucking 15 years ago though. Like things
Yeah.
have changed, right? And it's not like I want to Call of Duty it by wanting a
Go back to
progression.
COD, Fry.
Well, that's what it is, but it's just
That's
like
what everybody says.
that's what everybody says, but it's like, can we have a middle ground? You know what I mean? I don't want Call of Duty, but I don't want to spend 25 hours leveling a gun to get it mastered.
I get it. No, this is the internet in 2025. There's no middle ground. But
Exactly.
sorry,
Like
never. But
what I'm trying to find is the sweet spot between the two. But we just
no, I get it because I feel what you're saying. It's really slow, and I'm not a huge fan of challenges, especially how they have these written up. I
Right.
saw you tweeted about them.
Yeah.
Challenges make me play the game how I don't want to, and it starts to make me have not fun.
That's fair.
Like, so I'm not a huge fan of challenges being locked. And then it's going to be interesting to see when we talk about this thing's going to come out with a BR,
Yep.
how people are they could put some of the strongest BR guns behind some of these ridiculous challenges, and it's just going to be a grind and
Yep.
suck. And maybe they'll I could see him putting in some kind of tier system in a battle pass to unlock tier skips to get guns. That's what this is kind of setting up for me. And I kind of didn't think about it until it just dawned on me now. Is like, is weapon progression and stuff like that so slow? So that way, when they come out with new weapons, they want you to buy tier skips to unlock the weapons faster. Like, are they
Probably.
setting this up for a pay to progress type model?
Uh
know.
would you be surprised?
0% surprised, especially since we got the Saudis out here operating
Oh,
EA. So
God, yeah, no shit.
so we'll see how that shakes out.
You want to hear an exclusive that I haven't told anybody yet?
Yes.
So I had a deal lined up with Nvidia to do some Battlefield content, and the day that I put my video out covering the Saudi buyout, the deal was surprisingly just randomly pulled off the table. Yeah,
Wild.
yeah, pretty fucking shitty.
That's crazy. Why should they care? They're like gajillionaires.
Right,
I think
like
that's a real
give
number.
me some of that oil money for Christ's sake. What are we talking about?
Yeah.
But,
That's wild that's a little sensitive about it.
Little sensitive, even though I didn't even think I was that negative about it. It was
No,
just,
I thought it was a news video. Like, 'cause
it
it's
was.
news.
Yeah,
It's
and like
crazy.
the only opinion I have is that I think this could lead to more microtransactions down the line, which I think now that we're in the middle of the shit, I think that's a real possibility. You know what I mean?
I mean, yeah. How would you not think it's at least a possibility? Yeah.
The,
That's
the-
crazy, man.
the
Sorry
co-
that happened.
Yeah, no, it is what it is. It's fine. Shit happens all the time, right? I'm curious to see how people are going to respond if they do go that route, though. That's what I'm going to be watching. I'm not going to be surprised. I'm not even going to really be upset by it. I just want to see how people respond. I think people, I don't know, the conversations I'm seeing, man. I think people are just going to eat it. It's the first good Battlefield title in a decade, and
Probably.
we're not gonna shake the boat on this one. I think is where
Yeah, they
everyone's
have
at.
they have a fair amount of goodwill built up
Yeah.
that they could cash in on.
Which is surprising,
Way
considering
quick.
the energy that we have seen from the Battlefield community for the past 4 years of 2042. It was always
Yeah.
a don't trust them, don't trust them. They
Yeah.
get one open beta and
We're
it's
back, baby.
We're back, baby, and like we're
It's great.
full steam ahead. It's so,
So fast.
crazy, man.
But that's
yeah.
that's why I commented that on your video. And a lot of people have always said, man, Battlefield has to nail this or it's dead forever.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, I don't think so, man.
Yeah.
I think they're standing on the shoulders of those giants
Yeah.
to where we had those moments of Bad Company and Battlefield 3 and 4 and stuff like that, to where everybody's at least going to check in on Battlefield no
Right.
matter what.
For sure.
And you saw how fast like the pendulum's all the way back
Yep.
for this is the most amazing thing in the history of video games.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's pretty crazy. Are we ready for my second negative?
Absolutely.
Okay. I did literally get death threats for this. After the beta, I posted, I said, barring bugs, because what a lot of people were showing from crazy beta movement was an
Yeah.
inertia bug.
Yeah.
I said, I thought the movement was fine in the beta, and I'm almost 40 years old. So I'm
Yep.
like, it wasn't that crazy and cracked, and I thought it was good, and people just
Yep.
roasted me. Well, now I'm seeing a lot of people saying, okay, yeah, maybe it is a little overtuned. Because right now
It
I
is.
feel like the movement is a bit slow. It feels like there's some inertia. It's not like PUBG or Tarkov inertia or anything like that.
Right.
I'm just feeling points where I wish my character would just do a little more. Like when I can't get him the character to move where and when I want him to, that's when it starts to annoy me. I don't want anything crazy. I really liked how Battlefield 5 did movement, and I thought the beta felt like Battlefield 5. You could lean, but it wasn't spammable. It had a cooldown. The more times you lean, the
Right.
less it did, and pretty soon it wouldn't work. Jump was the same way. The slide, I think the slide is awesome, and it should be used to get out of the way. You come around a corner, get a kill. His squad mates are all there. You can slide back around the corner really quickly, but you can't keep sliding to traverse the map like
Yes.
slide canceling Call of Duty. That's horrific. So I thought the movement was good. I think they overtuned it a little bit too slow now. I could get used to it. I could live with it how it is and be fine. But I wish they'd put it back to the beta. I thought the beta felt a little bit more fluid to me.
I thought the beta felt awesome, to be honest, from a movement perspective. Yeah, we saw the crazy slide through that one clip where the guy was sliding through the bus and slid past the dude, and he went 5 or 6 feet. Egregious. That stuff definitely needed to be tuned down a little bit. I think they went too hard. But also like you said, at the end of the day, I'm not mad at it. I'll play it and adapt, and it is what it is. But I do agree with you. I think the movement is it's a little slow.
I start to see why people shit post on Twitter. It's kind of fun because to make people mad because I got
Yeah,
like 200,000 views on that tweet saying the
insane.
movement was fine and people were just livid with me.
Yeah, no, it's insane, dude. Twitter for the last like 3 days, every single tweet I have just is seemingly going viral, and it's not even like I don't even think they're hot takes. I really don't. It's just like I think the mastery camos kind of look ugly, and it's 400 comments of people telling me to fuck off and go back to COD, and it's like,
To go
sure,
back to COD.
I
I just
guess
started I just started typing that in the in-game chats. Like
you're
we'll be
right.
playing a conquest game and I'll just
Yeah,
get in I'll just bait people in the game chat. And I'll be like, go back to COD. And then like 5 people will say, you go back to COD,
yeah.
tourist.
Yeah, oh
Oh,
yeah, yeah. It's brutal. They are definitely the easiest community. If you wanted to rage bait, they would be the easiest ones to get for
and
sure.
Elon's got the algo dialed for you
Yeah,
over there.
yeah,
He's got her dialed.
yeah. Now let's talk about another thing that I think needs to be tweaked here. Maps. I think they're too damn small. Considering how slow we're moving, the maps are still too damn small.
Okay. I'm I'm an infantry player. I don't
Sure.
really like the vehicles. So like in Battlefield 5, like I would skip Panzerstorm. Like I just don't want to play that giant thing and run for days. But I
Go
think
go back
I
to
would
COD.
be okay with bigger ones. I just don't have too strong of opinion. I really don't hate the maps. And that could be because I had such a bad taste in my mouth from 2042's like open sterile boxes and crates
Right.
and stuff.
No,
So
I
man,
think
I don't.
2042 was massive, but I think it was massive and open with no really like good lanes, no cover points, no nothing. They were ass, right? Whereas this one, I feel like I don't know, dude. Like there's just no room to breathe. Even
Yeah.
Liberation Peak, I think you might be moving for 5-10 seconds. You're gonna find somebody. There's no downtime at all.
Yeah, there are a lot of urban maps. I honestly just think we could use more maps. And I always say that, and I know it launched with like 9 or whatever, which is
Sure.
traditionally like a pretty good number. But I would like some more big maps. Playing Conquest, I get what you're saying though. Like playing Conquest on Merak Valley.
Yeah.
That one with like the trench warfare, and then it's got like the two towers in the middle that everybody
Yes.
fights over, and then the big area around it. I get that feels battlefieldy.
Yep.
There's tanks and
100%.
choppers and stuff going on, and then
Yep.
like I'm an infantry player, so I like to fight on those. I think it's Bravo and Delta, the points in the middle.
Yeah,
I like to
with the
fight over
building.
those, and
I yeah, 100%.
I get what you're
I
saying.
think that is one of the better design maps. I wish that like so when you talk about the areas for the infantry, there are a lot of areas for you guys to play in. But then when you talk about the vehicles, you're clearing that entire side of that map in 10 seconds, you know? And so I would like to see more, I guess, more areas for ground vehicles to do well in. Like when you play Operation Firestorm and you have that whole open field with the tanks on the side, even though that's been dropped for size, I think that's still a sizable map. And that to me reminds me of Battlefield.
Yeah, you get more of that combined arms and atmosphere and stuff going on.
Yeah.
I get it. I
Yeah.
just hate vehicles and I like to blow them up,
No, and that's fair. I think,
but that's my play style. So
yeah, I think what I would like to see is I know we launched with 9 maps, but how many of those were like TDM infantry, like infantry only small guys, Manhattan Bridge, the other Manhattan map, the other Manhattan map, and the fourth Manhattan map, whatever those were.
yeah,
Um,
there is an argument to be made there where I saw some people on Twitter saying like, did they purposely do this to go after the COD player base, like more infantry style,
for sure they
like
did.
combat stuff like that? And I guess there's no, I mean, you guys can form your own opinions on that, but I mean, it kind of, it's there. It's a trend.
Yeah,
There's definitely more infantry areas,
for sure.
but I
Yeah.
don't hate it. So sue me,
That's the thing. I like at the end of the day, I think all of the negatives that I'm bringing are they're not even close to game breaking. They're not even
dude.
close to turning me off of it, which I think is probably the best spot to be in, right?
I Yeah, and I think when you devolve into Battlefield Reddit or Battlefield Twitter, where
Yeah.
like people are just mad at everything,
Yeah.
it's important to take a step back and
Yes.
realize, dude, we're actually arguing about gameplay mechanics. We're not
Yes.
after the 2042 beta when we're like, what the hell was that? Like,
Right. Where you have
so
vehicles driving up the side of buildings and shit.
yeah,
We're not
it's
even
like
yeah.
it's actually, if you take a step back, it's
Yeah.
pretty cool that we're debating gameplay things and
Yes.
not just like, dude, this isn't even Battlefield. So like we're in a much better
For
starting
sure.
point than
Yeah.
than we were
I I
last
think
time.
I
So
think we're pretty blessed to be in the position that we're in to just be able to experience it and yeah.
and and I've always said that too, is like I think FPS space as a general is just better when you have a good Battlefield to play,
For
because you
sure.
can play, and I think it's important to play a bunch of different games. That's why I love doing these podcasts so much, because we get to talk about different games,
Yeah.
not just lock into one game. So that's why it's cool. And then but it's always good to have a Battlefield game in the hopper, where you can just say, hey guys, let's get on Battlefield tonight and just run around and have a good time. So
Yeah.
everything's better because we have a good Battlefield to play right now.
100%. All right, man. I think with that, I think it's time for us to move into our next segment, patch notes. All right, one of my most anticipated games of the year is Arc Raiders, and this weekend, actually, while you guys are watching this, the day this goes live for everybody, October 17th to 19th, you guys can dive into Arc Raiders on PS5, Xbox Series X and S, Steam, and the Epic Game Store, and you can play a preview of the game before it launches on October 30th, which is pretty fucking cool. Are you into Arc Raiders? I don't think you've made a
Man,
video on the game.
I want to be. No. They had me hooked at the beginning because their very first trailer had an awesome mix of Robin singing her song.
Oh,
And
nice.
I love the trailer so much. And I love the world building and stuff. But man, I don't want you to fire me from the podcast already, but
It's the
I'm
third
not
person,
super
isn't it?
into third person, man.
You
I get
fucking.
frustrated playing third person, dude.
Why
I
is
do.
that?
It's just because I feel like it always turns into just people sitting around and third person peeking over stuff, waiting for the other person to move. I feel like in a 1v1 fight, the more patient person can win and just sit there and wait for the other person to move and shoot him. And sometimes you can be being watched and not even know it.
Yeah.
And I know that I feel like I'm Arc Raiders. If any game is going to change my mind, it's going to be this one, because everything else to me looks amazing. So I
Yeah.
want you, as someone who is more into it and has been into it, to
Yeah.
tell me why I should overlook the third person and not worry about it and get into this game. Like, why are you excited about it?
So obviously for me, I mean, we've the world building. The same guys from the finals, right? These are old Dice devs, and like you can see the Battlefront inspiration. I think everything that they're doing at their level is on par, if not better, than anything we've seen from major studios AAA space. The polish of the game in the last tech test. You've played the game or no?
Yeah. Mhm.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
Not the most recent tech test, the one before that, the closed one.
got
I
you.
got into and played.
So
I was impressed.
the first time I played it was Tech Test 2 earlier this year, and I was very impressed. But I've spoken with guys like Abel who played all of them, and he would always tell me like this game's going to be something. It's going to be good. It's going to be great. And then when I got to play it, like from the audio, the visuals, the actual player movement itself, when you play a lot of third person shooters, they're janky. And sometimes the camera gets caught in certain areas that you don't want, and it makes combat frustrating. I think they did a very good job at creating a good third person player controller. Um, one thing that I wanted to bring up here as well, they recently talked about their expeditions, which I want to get your opinion on too. So how it works is it's a little bit of a hybrid system between, I would say, like an arena breakout and a Tarkov, where you don't actually wipe between seasons, but how it works is you have these things called projects that you have to basically go into raids, grab resources, and then put them towards projects. And the first one that you're going to be able to do is an expedition, which is essentially like prestiging. It's a voluntary wipe where if you don't want to do it, you don't have to do it. You can always keep your gear, and that's fine. Or you can choose to essentially prestige, kill your character, start from scratch, and unlock cosmetics and other rewards for doing so. But you can only do it within a certain window. Every 8 weeks, you have this project that opens up. You put all your resources in, and then in the last week, you can choose to restart your character. And if you miss that window, you have to wait another 8 weeks to do so.
Man, I like it.
Yeah.
That was one of my biggest pet peeves with extraction shooters in the early on, especially with Tarkov. I feel like the Tarkov wipe system was almost like an unintended game mechanic that people started to like.
Yeah.
It was part of their development process, but then people got excited for the wipe because they liked the early game of Tarkov.
Yeah.
And that was like such a turnoff to me. It's like, dude, your favorite part about the game is just starting over. Like that's what you get excited for. So I really like this, and I'm really liking the extraction spaces moving towards finding more permanent solutions and more thought out solutions. So like Arena Breakout, which we're going to talk about in just a little bit, has a system to where there's no wipes, but the game modes kind of protect newer players. So you can hop in and hop out whenever you want to. You can play normal, which has a gear cap. Lockdown has its own kind of gear range. And then Forbidden is for like chats and stuff like that. So you don't have to worry about like Tarkov, oh my God, there's a wipe. I got to get into it. I got to hurry up or I'm going to get behind in the traders and get smacked all the time by chads. And I think Arc Raiders doing this is cool, man. I would love to see something like that in ABI where like you spend all your coin and get a cool cosmetic and start over and run it back. But where I think it's a cool way to respect everyone's time. So like if you don't have the time to restart a character every 8 weeks because you can only play a few hours a week, you don't have to lose your stuff. You're chilling. And then the people that have a lot of time to play, they have something to look forward to. They can wipe their character and start over. And I'm excited to see how it plays out and what it looks like and what the cosmetics look like. Cause I'm all for this next kind of iteration of extraction shooters where we're figuring out the wipe thing. Cause I didn't really like the wipe stuff when you started to look at it, but maybe that's cause I hated doing the same challenges every single wipe in Tarkov.
Well, that's exactly it. Like how many times are you going to grab a pocket watch? You know?
I'm chill. Never again, to be honest. I actually am not going to lie to you. I escaped Tarkov in real life. So I'm good. I'm ready for someone to tell me how many hours they have in our comment section and then tell me how I'm wrong. But
and then the last thing I wanted to bring up is the pre-order bonuses. So we have the pre-orders. Obviously, you know, I know you can like them or not, whatever. But the one thing is if you play this weekend and then you pre-order, they actually offered another bundle or another set of stuff that you get if you pre-order, just to celebrate the fact that they're doing this open test. So if you did pre-order, you get more stuff, and they're adding more incentives for you to do so, more cosmetics and character customization options, which is really cool. Backpack cosmetics. I think there's some stuff for Scrappy as well. For those who know, you got a little rooster with you that you can send out on little missions and stuff. I'm really excited for Arc Raiders. And I'm going to sell you on it. I'm going to get you in there.
I'm going to try it. No, and I'm thankful that they're doing this, right? For people like me who are on the fence. Let's check it out, guys. Like let's hop in and play it for free and see where it goes. You don't have anything to lose. I think that's really cool. I don't have to pay the 30 or 40 bucks or whatever it costs.
Yeah, no, exactly.
To play it, and I can check it out, which is really cool because the world looks amazing. The art looks amazing. I really liked what I saw because I watched a lot of your videos and your streams on it. I liked the variation in the NPCs. They weren't just like scabs running around with the same voice lines. They were really different robots you had to fight in very different ways. And everything is awesome about it to me.
It's that third person. So, that's fair enough.
Yeah, but we'll see. I know I'm not alone. I hope I'm not alone.
I know you're not alone. There's a lot of people that feel exactly like you do.
But I am gonna give it a good try. Because there's just too much other stuff in there that's really neat. And it's also been cool to follow this game that started out as it was going to be PvE only. Then they removed it and switched to PvP. And we're like, you know, you really don't know what this game wants to be. And to have them kind of course correct and get to this point where people are really excited about it. I hope it doesn't get, you know, drowned out by Battlefield, but I don't think it will.
I don't think it
It's
will.
different.
I think it's a top 5 most wishlisted game on Steam still. There's a lot of people looking for it. So, yeah, I'm
Excited.
excited to see what happens.
Cool, man. We ready for the next patch note?
Yeah, you take it away.
All right. So a game that I've been playing a fair amount, I guess that is up until Battlefield just launched, is
Right.
Arena Breakout Infinite. If you guys don't know, Fry made a video about it. They took they did almost everything that we wanted. They took all the pay to win stuff out of it. It's a really fun extraction shooter with, if you know, Tarkov is kind of annoying because of the time commitment and how much kind of the game design fights you. On the other end of the spectrum is Arena Breakout Infinite. So much quality of life stuff. Even down to the fact like you click go into a raid and within like less than a minute you're in a raid and ready to fight. There's gear presets, the maps on the screen, like everything is just, you can focus on playing, and I've been really enjoying it. Well, the next season, presumably, that's supposed to come out in a couple weeks. We got some teases of new maps, so I'm really excited about that. I love more maps always, and there's starting to be a fair amount of maps in this game.
Yeah.
So when you get tired of one, you can switch another one. They're totally different sizes. But there's one that's been teased by Enzo Zhang, I believe. I think he's like the lead producer. He's basically like the head guy over there at More Fun Studios.
He actually is
this.
the head. Yeah.
And he tweeted some teaser images of a new map, and it's kind of funny. I don't know. They've gone at each other, Tarkov in this game on Twitter, and I don't know if this is another shot at Tarkov because it's an airport, and we know that Tarkov's final map is
Right.
Terminal, which is like an airport. So like they're gonna have a terminal map before Tarkov does or whatever.
Right.
But I don't really care. At the end of the day, competition's great, and this game has really gone in a good direction. Taking out the pay to win stuff, and the polish is awesome. But it's a new big map. It looks like it takes place on an airplane terminal. And a couple people I saw had Twitter who had played it said it was a lot bigger than they thought. And he said that it's a large scale map. So I'm kind of thinking maybe, and I hate when people do this, but I have to do it to get my point across. If it's compare games that aren't the same, but just
Sure.
to get an idea, it sounds kind of like Interchange, where it's like a big main building in the middle, which
Yeah.
is the airport terminal, and then you kind of start on the edges. And I'm guessing all the extracts and POIs and things you got to get to, everybody's going to meet in the middle in the giant airport. But it looks really cool. And then the other thing they teased, which it doesn't really move the needle for me, is they teased some zombies. So they made some zombie models. And I'm guessing coming up here around Halloween time, there's probably going to be a zombies mode being added. I probably won't spend a ton of time into it, but I don't know. I'm a PvP guy, and that's why I like Arena Breakout, because it focuses around smooth PvP. You get into fights all the time. There's a ranked mode. You rank up by shooting, looting, killing, and getting out, which is like what I like to do when I play extraction shooters. I don't like to do a ton of super complicated quests and stuff like that. So ABI has been a lot of fun, and I am really excited for that new map in a couple weeks.
Yeah, I'm not sure how I feel. Like, I will say the zombie models I think do look great, but I've never been a big like, oh my god, there's a Halloween event, I need to jump in. Like, I know Rainbow Six used to do them, and I think Call of Duty. I usually just avoid that stuff. I just want to play the game that I'm logging in to play. But their concept art does look cool. Map looks great too. The map does look like, just from the fourth picture there, it looks like we're gonna have access to the like entire like parking lot, the roads leading up to it, the highway above looks like there isn't gonna be an extraction point on there.
It looks
Um,
big.
it looks big, which is good. I think the game needs it.
And
What's the one where oh my god, I'm blanking on the map. Is it Northridge?
yeah,
Northridge
it's
is
the
a pretty
biggest one now.
Oh, okay, then I'm not what's the one where you have like where you go in and there's like a front gate and you can like go in and like turn on the extract by hitting the switches?
Armory.
That's Armory. Armory's like, I mean, it's small as fuck. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. So this one, yeah, looks much bigger than that. And I'm kind of surprised because I'm not a mobile gamer. I know that's going to surprise a bunch of you. But
You don't play Candy Crush?
nope. I know that's a big surprise. But this one is I don't think this is in the mobile game. And I thought that the PC version was just going to follow along that
Right.
launch and get all the same mobile maps, but this is going to be a new unique map to the entire franchise. So
Yep.
it kind of came out of nowhere. So
Um,
I'm excited for that.
that is a question too. I don't play the mobile game. Is there any exclusive maps in the mobile game that hasn't come to PC yet?
Yeah, there's a couple. There's one called Port and one called Mine, I think. Because I've heard people talking about them. And then there's a bunch more weapons, and there's a few more gadgets,
Right.
and there's like snow versions of Northridge and stuff like that. That's in
Okay.
mobile. That's not PC. So there's still a fair amount more content. They're on like season 10 or something,
Yeah. Yeah.
on the
Okay.
mobile side of things. But yeah, so I thought they were going to follow that launch cycle, but they ended up, coming out with this completely new map, which is pretty sick.
Very cool. Yeah. It looks like they're cooking.
All right, so this is the patron party chat part of the show. Now, right now, since this is the first episode, we haven't had a chance to go through, kind of the cadence of how these are going to shake out. But if you guys are over on patreon.com/BigFry and you're part of the membership over there, this is where we want you guys to become part of the show. So leave comments on the posts for this show and questions, and we'll definitely put up some other posts to make sure you guys know that we're asking for feedback on the show, the games, what's going on, and just start an overall discussion with you guys. So if you guys are already part of that, go ahead and drop questions, comments, and we'll go over those in the next episode. And if you're not, consider joining patreon.com/BigFry and come join us and be part of the show. So guys, welcome to the Sleeper Hits. This is the part of the show moving forward. We're going to kind of cruise around the internet in the nooks and crannies and find things that you might not know about. And we're going to talk about them, kind of shed some light on some of the smaller news stories around the FPS space. And since it's all about Battlefield, due to the recent launch, we're going to kind of do a little bit of a Portal edition. There's some other stuff towards the end, but the main thing here is going to be some of the Portal things that we've seen around. Because if you haven't checked these out yet, they're really interesting. What have you found out there, Fry?
So, okay. The first one I have to talk about is obviously the SOCOM Desert Glory recreation.
Neat.
Yeah. All right. Listen, it's a much better way to play. Listen, whoever this guy is, GIR, I found this through Battlefield Portal. Obviously shout out to Matavatar from Beautiful Light. I can never get his name right.
I'm gonna go
Matavatar. We're gonna call you that. Yeah. So he tweeted out, and that's how I kind of got wind of this. So Desert Glory was a map in SOCOM 2. It's being recreated in Portal, and it looks friggin' awesome. The person, GIR, he's working on a third person kind of modification. I don't know how to play this experience. I'm in their Discord, but I haven't really seen anything like it or seen anything on how to get access to it, but it's looking really, really good.
And so as I understand it, right? Like when they get these modes done, they should just be able to give you like a code and you put it in and it builds it for you.
Yeah. That's and so I think if they give you an experience code, you can also host a persistent server using that experience. So once this is done, I want to host a server and actually bring in, because if we can do 16 players, 8v8 on old SOCOM maps, that would be insane.
Yeah. I got something cooking too. One of my community members is working on getting that bomb squad mode.
Yeah.
There's like a CSGO mode with a buy screen and everything to work on all the other maps. So we can just have like a 10 or 15 map rotation of like bomb mode.
Oh, hell yeah. I'd cool. Play the shit out of that.
So yeah, the next one that's pulled up here I see is Zebra Tower from BF3.
Yeah.
From the Close Quarters DLC, and this looks cool. And I think it's like crazy to see, like, this game has just been out for like a few days.
Yeah.
And we're already seeing this stuff.
Yeah, I'm saying,
like,
and I will say, like, it's sometimes when modding platforms come out, they look kind of janky and the maps don't look great. These are looking like really, really good. That shot of Zebra Tower you guys are going to see on your screen here, like, that looks like it could have been in Battlefield. It looks like a launch map.
Yeah. It's nutty, and because it's got like a full, is it Godot or Godot? How do you say?
I call it Godot.
That's probably right.
Yeah.
So it's a Godot editor that you could like change everything in.
Yeah. We could probably, we're going to get into it in a little bit. We could probably build Road to Vostok inside of Battlefield 6 in the future.
You build anything in there.
Right.
Are we ready to talk about that? No, there's another one.
There's a few. And speaking of building anything in here, there are people that are building Space Invaders and Snake. And there's the one that you guys are seeing here. It's a Doom renderer inside of Battlefield. So not only can you make experiences for Battlefield, you can also build games within the SDK to play within Battlefield.
So they coded out like a Doom mini game and put it into Battlefield so you can like walk up to the vending machine and then play the arcade games?
Yeah, well, so you can, in the one here, you can walk up to the vending machines and you can play Space Invaders, like inside the game. It's people are way smarter than I am for this stuff, but like it's very, very impressive. And like you said, it's been out for 4 days,
Yeah.
Imagine what it's going to be like a year from now.
I can't imagine.
Yeah.
I'm just kind of here for the ride because I opened it and tried to do some editing myself, and
Yeah.
I'm an idiot. So
No,
I learned that.
if I can use this opportunity to give a shout out to Battlefield Portal, BF underscore portal underscore hub on Twitter. Join their Discord if you guys want to learn anything about the coding side of things, how to work with the actual map editor. They have all of the resources there for you. Yeah, it's impressive stuff.
I'm gonna have to check that out because I
Yep.
just kind of got in and moved some stuff around, and then I was just like, how do I copy this? How do I get it to a
Right.
certain? I didn't know anything, so I'm
Yeah.
gonna have to check
Yeah.
that stuff out because it's really interesting to me.
Yeah, and they have a lot of helpful people there as well. So if you have any questions or you need help troubleshooting any sort of code or anything, yeah, they have full teams there ready to do that. So it's crazy.
Man, that's awesome. Cool. We ready for the last one?
Yeah, you take it away because I'm a little bit less tapped into this than you are.
Yeah, I've played the first couple demos of this, and the game we're talking about is Road to Vostok. And the reason we are bringing it up now is because the final demo. So this is the final chance, the most fleshed out version that is going to be around to be able to play before it goes into early access launch. And there's just so much in here already. But this is part of Steam's Next Fest, so it's going to be October 13th through the 20th. So depending on when you listen to this, you might check your calendar. But there's like a 4 times the map size. I guess I should take a little bit of a step back. If you guys don't know, Road to Vostok is going to be like a single player survival game that you push through different maps. And it's been developed by vastly, mostly single person, Auntie. He lives in Finland. We did an interview with him on our show actually quite a while back, and it was very, very enlightening to talk about this stuff. But what also is really cool about this, if you are interested in development of video games, he has chronicled everything for the last
Yeah.
several years on, concept art, getting pictures, texturing everything, like all the way through the entire build, like is almost a documentary of how this game came to be. And I think if you're a fan of Fryer Eyes content, you're going to probably like the look of this game. It is very like dystopian, realistic, gritty, and dark. And the stuff I played was like really, really difficult to play through. It wasn't just super easy, but um, they've added a ton of stuff. The winter mode's there, like your body temp vital, heat source has been activated, clothing, frostbite, medical condition, all that stuff's been added. The maps are like 4 times bigger. You can go over on Twitter, and I'll send this over to Fry so you can put it up and you can see what's in the final demo versus early access. You have a hideout that you can go through. There's tons of the dynamic weather. You can do fishing, like all that stuff's in there. And I think how I remember it is you kind of start out in an open area, and then to get better loot and to progress through things, you go to like a scarier one. And then the final one, like once you get to like, I think it was like Vostok, I think is the final one. That would make sense given the name of the game. If you die in there, you lose everything, but that's like where the best and the end game kind of is. So once you get there, is kind of what we learned. But it's just a really cool game, something to check out. Not a ton of people are talking about it.
Yeah.
But it's crazy to see what one person's done over the years. And he's had a roadmap that's like a multi-year roadmap, and he's hit every milestone.
Yeah,
And
honestly,
it's
it one of the most impressive indie devs that I think I've ever seen in the space. What really, like you said, he chronologically made videos just covering the entire development, and that's what really got for me. It was like you're already spending all of your time developing, and you're a video editor, and you're putting this all together. You're doing your own voice, like phenomenal. I've covered the game in the past a little bit, but I've been waiting obviously for moments like this when the game actually has some meat on the bones. And it's I haven't played the demo yet, but it's looking very impressive. We don't have an early access date, do we?
I just pulled that up. I will tell you what his
Sure.
time frame is. It's not an exact date.
Right.
Um, uh, oh, he doesn't have a date. Sorry.
It was 2026 though, correct?
Yeah. He said it will be announced in the early access trailer video, and that is at the end of this year.
Gotcha.
So we should know in the next couple months when the date itself is going to be. But I think it was like early 2026. So
Yeah.
we're a couple months away from knowing the date
Yeah. No.
of early access. And there is a ton of stuff that's not in this demo that will be in early access. And he actually, funny enough, he highlighted everything green that's already done. So there's a ton of stuff that's already
Yeah.
done that will be in early access. And he's got early access is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 maps. And he also 4x the map size of all those maps. So like there's 4 traders and 9 maps, and it's going to be a lot to get through. But
Yeah.
you can see from the fishing to like even minute stuff like texturing, how he did the water, how he did the audio occlusion zones. Like you can see how he did all that stuff through the whole thing. If you check out the YouTube channel,
It's so
it's crazy.
impressive. Yeah, it's crazy.
Is it time to go back to the lobby?
I think it is. And with that, guys, that was the first episode of Push to Talk. As always, we want to know your thoughts down below. Did you enjoy the show? Is there some segments you want to see in the near future? Are there other topics you want us to cover? Let us know. We want to know your thoughts in the comment section down below. And if you're on Patreon, make sure you guys leave a comment, questions, or whatever, and we will get to you in the next episode of Push to Talk. We want to do this bi-weekly, so every 2 weeks, twice a month, you guys will see our mugs on your screen or in your ears. For your listening pleasure. Crash.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to next episode, man.
Me
so we
too,
got
bro.
like, so we're gonna have arc raiders between now and then. We're gonna have more time with Portal and Battlefield.
Yep.
Hopefully we'll get some more stuff nailed down and maybe an early tech test of the arena breakout and stuff. And there's like, it was a good time to start a show. There's a lot going on, man.
There's a lot going on. Yeah. I mean, finally, right? It's been dry as shit for the last few years. So it's been nice. Yeah. So guys, next episode should be in a couple of weeks. Subscribe if you guys haven't done so already. Check us out on Patreon, patreon.com/BigFry. Crash, this was fun. This was nice.
Dude, yeah. I'm super thankful to be here and have this opportunity.
Hell yeah.
And like I said, man, excited for the future. It's really fun. I've always wanted to build a show, you know, and that's what this is going to be. And I'm here for it, man.
Awesome. All right. Talk to you guys later. My name is Big Fry.
We'll see ya.